I am never not scared. I'm always nervous about something, but I know that I'm growing. I can't expect myself to stay comfortable and fucking grow. It's not gonna happen. Hello, my love. Welcome to the podcast. I am so happy that you're here. We are back in our Life Audit series. This is the third episode of this month's Life Audit 2023 series. If you happen to be listening to this after 2023, it doesn't matter. This entire month, what we've been doing is going through a life audit, checking in with your world. Where are you sabotaging? Where is your world not responding to what you desire? Where are you not getting what you want? Where are you repeating patterns? Are you lost? Are you genuinely feeling lost, or something else happening for you? Maybe you have felt like you've been changing. How do you know you've been changing? So all of the topics we're discussing this month have to do with a life audit, just a little check-in to see how you're living. And I think that it's a perfect time to do this any time of the year, but I love doing this towards the end of the year because it starts to get me ready for the year that's coming. It starts to help me wind down the year that has been. It starts to get me reflecting and looking at who I've been being. Is it serving me? Who do I want to be? And if not, what am I stepping into in 2024? And the reason I wanted to do this series right now is because I think it's too late when we go December 31st, Happy New Year. All right, 2024 is here, or 2025, or whatever year we're in. This year's here. Shit. What do I want for my life this year? And I feel all the pressure come down on what kind of year is it going to be? Who do I have to be? Organize your life for the next 12 months. It's a lot. And so fuck changing yourself at the beginning of the year. I'm like, I want to shift myself before the year ends. I think every single day is an opportunity to create something new. Every second, every moment that you have, you get to choose to be a new person. You don't have to wait for the new year. You don't have to wait till Monday comes. You can make a choice in this second right now as you are listening to me if you're not happy with what's going on for you, if you're not happy with who you're being. If you're not happy with how the world is working for you, you get to choose, hey, this is what I desire, and I'm going to actively choose that. So for me, I think it's powerful to end the year with intention, completion, and deciding what you want. Because when I wrap up 2023 this year, I'm already know what I'm stepping into January. I'm already prepared. I'm ready. I'm organizing my year right now. If I could tell you honestly, I already know all the events we're doing in 2024, where we're going, the holidays we're taking, the calls that we're going to have, the programs that are launching. Everything is sorted 2023 for the following year. And I don't have to wait to become a new person. So today I wanted to share in our Life Audit series 3 ways that you could be sabotaging. And I'm not saying you are, but maybe you are. And maybe there are 3 ways that you can look at this. These are the 3 main ways that I would say you could tell if you're sabotaging your life, if you're sabotaging your progress, your growth, yourself, your relationships, any area of your life. How do you know? People say, I'm self-sabotaging myself, right? Like it's a thing that just flies out of our mouths. We don't even think about it. Like, how do you know you're sabotaging? Are you actually sabotaging? Or is that just bullshit that we say because we know how to say things? And it's another syndrome, or it's another label, self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, all of these things. And so I wanted to break down 3 ways. If you're listening to me, and you can write this shit down, because I want you to get it down, pen and paper, get some of these tangible things down. And if you're not listening to me where you can write, come back to this episode and take some notes. Because I really believe if we want to shift our lives, if we want to step into the next level of ourselves, if we want to create something that we don't yet have, we must get uncomfortable. We have to step outside of that comfort zone. We got to start stepping into what we desire. We got to be scared, do it scared. We have to actually make some tangible change. And as a coach and therapist, I'm about action. So there are action steps and tangible things that you need to do if you want to get said result. Cool? So today I want it to be a bit tangible. I want to give you some stuff. And as you're writing, I want you to think about, what action am I going to do? Now, what does that mean for my life? The question Erica just asked me, how does that relate to me, and what do I need to do with this? And if you need to pause me, make it happen, do whatever you got to do. Please don't think, and this is something that I just said to my sisterhood ladies when I did my coaching call this week. Please don't think that just by listening to a podcast, you're working on yourself. Just by watching a free webinar, just by reading a book, just by downloading an audiobook and listening to one chapter, you're air quotes working on yourself. Watching YouTube videos does not mean you're working on yourself. Sorry, boo. I say to my clients all the time, who cares? You paid the money. Who gives a fuck? So what? So you bought the ticket to the event and your ass is in a chair. What does that mean? Nothing. It means nothing if you don't do anything with it. Doing the work is not listening to a podcast and reading a book. It's what happens after, my friend. It what happens when the podcast is finished, when the book is closed, when you go into your life and you walk in your life day to day and you interact with other humans and your kids yell at you and your boss triggers you and all this other shit happens. What do you do then? That's when the real work starts. It starts when you're journaling, when you're writing, when you're crying, when you're healing, when you're in session, when you're paying your mentor and you're talking and sharing, taking actions, then doing the actions. Nothing just happens because you decided to push play on a fucking podcast. And I know you know this, but I really want to hit you with that because if we're coming to the end of the year and you're feeling like the progress isn't happening, maybe you're telling yourself you're working on yourself, but maybe you're not doing the work. The action steps matter. Cool? Let's get into it. We already have, but let's get into it. So way number one that you know that you are sabotaging is you are avoiding truth. Number one, avoiding truth. What does that mean, Erica? It means there is some truth coming at you every single day in your life. For example, if you would like to have a better relationship and currently right now you're in a toxic drama triangle kind of relationship that you also are contributing to in some way, shape, or form, and you want a better relationship, but every single day, you know that the way your partner speaks to you doesn't feel good to you. You know that lashing out and screaming at each other is not good to you. You know that when you guys drink and you fight and you scream and shout at each other and the police are called and it becomes full on, that's not good. That is truth. The way your relationship feels inside of you is truth. The way that you feel about yourself is truth. When you look at your bank account and you're not happy with what you see, that is truth. When you look around your life at who your friends are and you're not happy with the circle that you have, that is truth. When you sit alone in your bed and you're miserable and you're unhappy and you're lonely, genuinely, but you're posting beautiful shit on bullshit ass Instagram, that is truth. So truth is, I believe, when your life, the universe, your world is responding to you. How is it responding to you? I always ask my sisterhood this question. If life was a school, if your life right now, my friend, was a school, what lesson are you in? What is your life trying to teach you or communicate to you right now? Think about your life. Man, I keep doing this. This keeps happening to me. Is it happening to you or are you showing up in this way? Are you attracting this? Who are you being? What's your part in this? What role are you playing? And so when we avoid truth, when we avoid anything, and I did a podcast about this, like, are you okay? Or are you just avoiding it? So please go back and listen to that one. If you feel like you're doing the first sabotage, which is avoiding truth. What's the reality? You need to get out of Dodge. What's the reality? I need to learn to save money. What's the reality? I need to eat better. What's the reality? I really need to speak up at work and quit my job. Whatever. What is the truth? Because baby, the truth will never lie to you. The truth will come to you with some fucking shit that you don't want to hear. That's why it's truth. And in our retreats, we have a quote that we say that what is the quote? I think it says, the truth will set you free, but not until it's done with you. Like they say, the truth will set you free. Yeah, but not until it's done with you. You're not going to be free until the truth has been done. And so a lot of the times I feel we sabotage because we avoid. We don't want to look at it. Oh, no, I'm okay. That's fine. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I just want to be unconscious. I want to be naive. I don't want to know. But the reality is you have to have a look at the areas that you're not getting what you want. If you want to grow, you don't have to. But if you're here and you want to grow, clearly you want to get a different result. Something's not working. What is it? Where is your money going? Where is your time going? When will you speak up for yourself? When will you end that toxic relationship? When will you say goodbye to those friends that don't serve you anymore? When will you walk away from that discussion that's not serving you? Whatever. When? Because we avoid these things and then nothing happens. And so first one is avoidance. Avoiding truth. Avoiding the reality. Keeping ourselves very far away, removed, doesn't mean it goes away. It doesn't mean it goes away. If you wake up in the morning and you're telling yourself affirmations, but you know inside you're not good with yourself, that doesn't matter. The affirmations aren't going to work because you're not believing it. So I'm like, let's have a look at why. Instead of the symptom, as we always also talked about on the podcast recently, let's go to the root cause. Why is this actually happening? What is actually going on here? What's the truth here? I like to ask myself that question. I'll close my eyes and I'll put my hand on my heart and I'm like, what's the truth here? What do I need to know? What am I not willing to look at? What am I not willing to face? Why? Where am I keeping myself comfortable? Why? Where am I protecting myself from actually knowing the truth here? Why? I'm not saying go look for shit. I'm saying look at your life right now in the areas that you want to improve. If it's relational, if it's you, it's the relationship with yourself. You know, some people do this by staying fucking busy. You avoid by being air quotes busy. I have so much to do. Got to do this, got to do that. Got to fill my calendar with all the things. I'm always doing something, jumping from fucking thing to thing because you don't want to stop and be present and sit in the stillness and in the nothingness. Why? Why can't you stop? Why can't you slow down? What are you worried about that's going to come up or happen? What are you distracting yourself from currently? What needs your eyes and your attention? What truth needs to be shown to you that you're too scared to let come through, and why? Yeah? That's the number one. The avoidance situation is a big one. Way number two that we sabotage. There's a beautiful quote from Tony Robbins, and I love it because it's spot the fuck on. He says, people know what to do, but they don't do what they know. Most people know what to do, but they don't do what they know. Oof, I'm like, damn, that's so true. What if you did know what to do, but you're just not doing what you know to do and telling yourself, I don't know. And so the second one is we're not doing what we know to do. And even worse, we might be saying things like, yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Okay, Erica, I know. I hear you, girl. Thank you for the podcast. Yep, I know that I should be doing that. Cool, you know? Because you're not doing it. So maybe you don't know. Maybe you think you know. Even worse, you have knowledge, information, and that's another podcast called Knowledge versus Knowing. Maybe there's data, information, 2 + 2 = 4. I know this, but the knowing is I see the result in my life and I'm not seeing that result in my life right now. So maybe telling myself that I know and I know and I know and I know is not helping me because it's keeping me protected like a block from actually feeling into the knowing and doing what I air quotes know to do so I can have said result of knowing. And so right now, what do you know that you need to do that you're not doing? What needs to happen that's not happening? What are you not attending to? What are you not actioning? This is about the movement. This is about the action. What are you procrastinating on? What are you holding far away going, yeah, one day I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. The amount of women I speak to in my DMs or on calls or in my emails, yeah, I got to join the sisterhood. Yeah, one day. I'm like, one day, cool. It's not that important, clearly. Getting tickets to Taylor Swift and Lizzo is important. Fantastic. Cool. That's your priorities. That's your priorities. One day I'm going to do it. Yeah, I need to do that. Oh, I need to come to one of your things. One day I need to do that. When are you going to invest in yourself? Do you think that investing in yourself is going to support you to become who you want to become and have what you want to have and live the life that you desire? So then why would we procrastinate on that? Then it's not that. Something else is happening there. So we know what to do, but we don't do what we know. So what are you currently not doing that you need to do? Write down, think about one thing that would really support you right now. If you actioned this one thing that you keep pushing and pushing and pushing aside, one thing, think about it right now. Everybody has it. I have it. Mine is here. Where's yours? What's the one thing that you know you need to do that you keep avoiding and not doing, expecting some magical shit to happen? Because it won't. So procrastination, stopping, pausing, not allowing yourself to do the thing, knowing that you need to do the thing and telling yourself, yeah, I know, but not making it happen. That's number 2, not doing what you know to do. Think about that. There's no more information you need to get. You have the information. Now it's time to action the thing. So that's the second way. The third, and this isn't the final, obviously, but I'm giving you 3 big ones that I think are really big ways that we sabotage. The third one is reacting and repeating. Repeating unhelpful behavior, not evaluating what you're doing, not checking in. So for example, maybe you yelled at your son and you didn't want to do that. And it's what you've always done. So you have this reaction where you yell and scream, right? That was definitely something that I used to do. Now, if I want to change this, how am I going to change this? If I don't pay attention, I'm just going to scream and yell at my son. I'm going to do that. I'm going to react. And then without even reevaluating or looking at what I did or taking responsibility for my behavior or checking the shit out, I will continue to be that person that does that. Of course I will. It's fucking habit stacking. I'm going to just continue to do this shit. No one's going to stop me. I'm not stopping myself. I don't even know I did it. Sometimes I don't even have awareness, or maybe you don't have awareness. Now, boom, here we go again. Another time that happens. Fuck, I didn't want to do that. So if we're not careful, we will repeat unhelpful behavior because we're choosing not to evaluate what we just did. So here's my example. In that scenario, you want to not yell at your kids. Maybe you don't have it in you yet to have a moment right before you yell. That moment of like, this fucking kid is pushing me. I am angry. I'm about to yell. And breathing and going, okay, can we talk about this? Or I have to take a moment. I'm walking away right now. Maybe you don't have that awareness, that moment right before you react. Many people don't have it. I didn't have it. Cool. But guess what you do have? You do have hindsight. So maybe you just reacted or yelled or screamed or did something you're not proud of. You acted in a way that you don't want to act. Guess what you have? You have a post-moment check-in, post-reaction. Shit, I just did that. Fuck, that wasn't cool. That's not who I want to be. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. That's not the kind of person I want to be. Guess what you can do, my friend? If you stop after and you evaluate the behavior that you were showing that you're not happy with, and you go, that's not who I want to be. I don't want to do that. It's like in the military, we used to call it an after action review, an AAR. So you did something, you weren't happy with what you did. So we'd go, hey guys, how did that go? Yeah, that was shit. Okay, cool. Next time, what do we do differently? All right, that was actually really good. I love that part when we did that. And we would review our action. This is in my practice of confidence. If you haven't downloaded the 5 C's, it's available. So make sure you get it on my website. I'll link it below in the podcast as well in the show notes. But if we don't evaluate our behavior and we're unhappy with how we're reacting, how are we going to change it? So what I would recommend is you yell and scream, I'm using this as an example, at someone. And then after you're like, shit, that wasn't good. That was bad. Here's what my invitation is. Sorry, listen, that's not how I wanted to respond. I just want to take responsibility because that's not how I want to be. That's not who I want to be. I'm really sorry that I responded in that way. I could have done a better job and I'm really sorry. And that's not how I want to be. And my apologies, or I take responsibility. Not, I did it because you said, none of that shit, just taking responsibility. And then sit down with yourself. This is the work, by the way. You sit down with yourself and you go, what happened? Well, this said that and this happened. And then I got fucking angry and it reminded me of my mother and it triggered me. And you're writing and you're getting to know thyself on paper, my friend, when you're not journaling. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. How do we not know ourselves if we're not journaling or getting our mind on fucking paper? You won't know yourself. You have to know yourself. Don't shame yourself for doing the reaction you didn't want to do, but post-reaction evaluation. Cool. That's not who I want to be. And clean that shit up. The invitation to clean that shit up and go talk to the person that you impacted. I will sit with my son and go, baby, I'm so sorry. Mommy didn't want to yell at you. I'm just really freaking tired and I shouldn't have responded in that way and that was wrong. And I'm so sorry, baby. That's not your fault. That's not how I want to be. So I want to take responsibility and I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. And he's like, okay, thank you, mommy. And I cleaned it up. So maybe I didn't have the awareness right before yelling at my son because that takes time. That takes you watching yourself and getting awareness and then choosing and having space and having a moment before you react. It's very hard to do if you've been a traumatized person, if you've been someone who was physically abused, if you've been in a world where you've gotten hit or you've gotten yelled at. That's what you learn, my friend. So be easy on yourself. But if you're trying to shift, if you're trying to change, these are the ways that we sabotage. We don't even evaluate our behavior. So I want to ask you, instead of reacting and repeating and doing what you do, and your reaction doesn't have to be screaming and yelling. It could be that you want to speak up at work and you don't. And every time it's your turn, you just go, I'm okay, I don't have anything to say. And I'm like, yo, you have something to say. You keep repeating the same shit. How do you expect a different fucking result? What do they say in the quote? That's insanity, right? So maybe at work, you're like, fuck, I should have said something. That was my moment when that person asked me, okay, well, next time I'm going to go speak to my boss and I'm going to tell my boss that I would like to share more and that I have struggled with that and that what I want to do is this and blah, blah, blah. Have a little plan. So now next time that rolls around, you have a plan and your mind and your body and your subconscious will remember and it will push you to go, I'm actually going to say something. Hey guys, sorry, before we finish up on that point, can I say something? I really had something to say and I want to make sure I don't miss it. And you give yourself permission to reevaluate, act differently, reevaluate, choose a new choice, a new way of being. And so these are the three ways. Number one is you avoiding truth. Are you avoiding truth? Are you not looking at the shit that you know you need to look at? Your life does not lie to you, my friend. Number two, are you not doing what you air quotes know you need to do? Right? Like, what is it that you're not doing that you know you need to do? What are the action steps? Are you procrastinating? Where? What's going on? What is one thing from this podcast that you're going to do today? I dare you, tag me, let me know on Instagram. What's the one thing you're going to do? Or if you're listening on Spotify, pop it down in the fucking comments. Like, hold yourself accountable. Or YouTube, pop it down in the comments. What do you need to do that you know you've been avoiding? Just put it down there. It should feel scary, baby. Living a life of confidence and courage is so scary. I hope you know that I'm always fucking scared. I am never not scared. I'm always nervous about something, but I know that I'm growing. I can't expect myself to stay comfortable and fucking grow. It's not going to happen. Okay? Number three, reacting and repeating, not evaluating the behavior, not having a look at who you're being and how you're reacting, checking in with yourself. Checking in with yourself. That's the thing that you need to do. I'm going to leave you with this. I've been recently seeing my naturopath, Dr. Kirsty, and she is amazing. She's a woman's specialist. She works on women's hormones, menopause, perimenopause, just all the feminine shit that we got going on. And she's helped me. I've lost weight. I feel incredible. I have so much energy. I'm on her protocol. She's the bomb. And I see her weekly. She does acupuncture and she's given me this gift. And I want to give this gift to you. She's asked me to do a body scan every morning before I get out of bed and every night before I go to sleep. And the scan and the point of body scanning is for you to check in with you. When people say I'm self-sabotaging myself, who the fuck is the self? Who the fuck is the I? You are the self. You are the I. There's a greater consciousness, the observer in you that sees you're doing that. That awareness is there for you. If you know that you're self-sabotaging, you got awareness. So how do we stop it? We have to action things. We can't just listen to podcasts and expect this shit to get in and somehow change your life. Okay, I love you. I'm not that good. You have to, this is a co-creation, baby. You have to do parts as well. So the invitation she gave me was lay down and scan. So scanning your third eye or whatever you want to call this, your mind. You don't have to call it a fucking chakra. If you don't believe in that, who cares? Do you, boo? Right? Scanning your third eye, scanning your throat. Is there something you need to say? Is there something you need to speak? How's your throat? If it could speak, what would it say? How's that area? Your heart. How's your heart? How's your heart space? When I check in with my heart, it was fucking sad about my mom, and that's a whole other podcast. So much shit going on with her, and there's a lot of sadness. If I don't honor the sadness, I operate from this mind head space, and I'm disembodied. I'm not embodied. Cool? Then checking in with your upper stomach, under your ribs. How is that area? Right? How's your sacral area? How's your womb space? How's your root area, the root chakra? Your near your bum, right? Like that lower seat, that seated area. How are your feet? Are you grounded? How is your body? And this thing has been really helping me to do this. And if you're a fast-paced person and you don't slow down enough, I'm going to put my hand up for that shit. This has been serving me so much because I just check in with where my body's at before I grab my phone, before I put it off airplane mode, before I get into my emails and all the things that my kids need and the lunches and the gym. It's a scan. How am I? And so if you are self-sabotaging, check in with self. How is yourself? How is you? How are you? You won't know yourself if you don't check in with yourself, my friend. And so what is and who is actually sabotaging? What part? I hope that this serves you. I want to know how you feel about it. If you are listening on Spotify, drop me a question or a comment. Or as always, tag, share. I love you so much. Next week is our last series of the Life Audit series. I'm very excited. It's going to be a good one. So make sure you come back next week. Big love your way. Have the best week ever. I fucking love your face. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing all the things. And lastly, if you want to join me live and hang out, whether it's virtually or in person, we do have our Sisterhood Day that's happening on the 12th of November. All the shit is down below in the links of everywhere. Make it happen. Stop fucking around. If you want to make some changes and if you love the vibe here, I'm highly inviting you to do something. Maybe that's your one action you need to do. Show up for yourself, okay? I love you. Take care, baby.